Hola everyone, welcome, bienvenidos. My name is Karla Solórzano and I am the founder and lead planner of Kiss and Say Events, a boutique wedding planning business for the modern and fun LatinX couple. Today, on the Wedding Emergency Kit series, we're talking about backyard weddings. And with me is fellow planner and friend Claudia Terrazas, owner of Time with Terrazas.
Hi Claudia, bienvenida, welcome.
Thank you, Karla. It's a pleasure being here. Hello, everyone.
Okay, so I read your bio at the beginning, but tell us a little bit about you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Claudia Terrazas, and I am a wedding planner here in Orange County. I am in the Southern California area, so basically anywhere where there's a fun wedding to be. And I have a passion for couples who are ready to take their next step into their relationship to marriage. There's something that's so beautiful about this process and this next phase that they are going to be entering. And it is an honor and pleasure for me to be by your side each step of the way, leading you down to the aisle. So,
I love it.
Yeah,
I love it. Okay, Claudia, so we are recording this, it's May, beginning of May, and we are in the middle of a pandemic with COVID-19.
Yes.
You know, we're not allowed to do any gatherings, and a lot of couples are being affected, canceling or postponing their weddings. But then we're within in the industry, and then they are also starting to think about ways they can still, you know, go ahead with their weddings because they either want to keep the date or there's a family reason, or, you know, there are many reasons. So that's why I brought you in, because even though you've been doing backyard weddings for a long time,
yes.
It seems like it's gonna be more of a trend moving forward, right?
Absolutely.
So let's talk a little bit about that. So tell us a little bit more about a backyard wedding. What is a backyard wedding? Although the name is really self-explanatory, but you know, a little bit maybe about how many people you recommend of having, and let's picture that.
Absolutely. So a backyard wedding is something that is going to be not at a venue site. It is going to be at a private residence home. It is either at a private estate or right out your back door, literally, or someone that you are very close to. So maybe it's a relative who is opening their home to allow you to have your celebration there with them, or it's your own home. So these are a much more confined space for couples to go ahead and do it in a private setting. And in regards to guests, let's definitely talk about that, because whereas at a venue, it definitely can accommodate a larger group of people. Yeah. You know, we can't fit 200 people in someone's backyard, unfortunately. So that is something very important that the couple should consider and think about when they are opting to do a backyard wedding or a more intimate wedding, because of the amount of space.
Right.
So with that being said, of course, everyone's backyard is a little bit different. You might have, you know, X amount of square feet, or maybe your house sits on an acre or 2 acres. I mean, it just depends on the location, of course, and how much space that you really have. Right. So we want to focus on the small intimate groups, meaning 20 or less, 15 or less, to meeting those accommodations with the COVID-19 rules and regulations.
Right.
So that's something huge to consider, and that's predominantly what we'll be focusing on.
Right. Yeah. And then also, you know, a backyard is totally different than a venue. A venue is equipped to have guests, right? Yes. It's prepared for it. It's prepared to host a wedding for you. Yes. But a backyard is not. So there are a lot of things you have to consider, and that's when you come in, right?
Absolutely.
And I'm sorry that if you hear that little campanita, that's my cat playing.
That's so cute.
I forgot to hide the toy. Thank you. Sorry, everybody.
No, it's cute.
So what are some things, let's say maybe 3, the most important things you think couples should consider when planning a backyard wedding?
Absolutely. So there's a lot of logistics behind the scenes, of course. We don't want to go into it blindly, and definitely having a wedding planner to help you with all those logistical plans and creating a floor plan is so essential. So I do want to focus on the space floor plan to kind of guide us through what's going to be important. For example, accessibility. Where are the vendors going to be able to come in and out of? Is there enough side on the side of the house or garage to allow the vendors to come in and start setting up? So that's really important. You know, what if there is a pool that's involved in the backyard? What if there are stairs? There's a lot of these logistical things in a backyard that you won't be facing at a venue. So we do want to address these issues. By having a wedding planner there to guide you through this process, will definitely make you feel more at ease and be a little bit more aware of the setup of the space. Right. Whereas the venue, they have an abundance amount of space and they can accommodate a much larger setup. Right. So for example, let's just briefly talk about catering. That's something that would be very important, to consider, especially now that with the COVID-19 happening. You know, before it was a very popular option to do buffets, but now with that unfortunately that may not be an option anymore. So right. We'll need to have it being plated and being served, of course meeting by all the rules and regulations, being safety, making sure that, you know, there's everything in place. Right. So that's something to consideration. So floor plan, catering, vendors coming in to set up, that's something that's going to be on top of mind, because we're only working with a small space here.
Right. Yeah. And then, and also things that I'm thinking right now, my weddings are all at venues, so I never done a backyard wedding. But now that I'm thinking is also things that we should consider is if you have 20 people and only one bathroom, restroom, you need to think about that, right?
Exactly, which brings us to the next step to consider, which is a combination of restrooms, lighting, electricity, power, and garbage.
Yeah.
The non-glamorous things.
It is not glamorous.
So these things, of course, you know, what? I didn't even think about that. Oh, power, but, you know, my house has electricity. Oh, but also can it accommodate all of the vendors using it all at once, you know, with the renters, having the lighting, the DJ, you know, we need backup generators, just things like that. Restrooms, oh my gosh. Well, if it's a private home, I don't think you would want everyone coming in and out of your house just because, yeah, we're just doing it in the backyard. Doesn't mean invite to my home.
Yeah.
So that's something else to consider. Where we're going to locate porta potties or these restrooms. There's such a variety these days that, you know, you can look into that have like sinks and everything. So, of course, you know, because they need to, you know, freshen up, powder up, make sure they look nice. Of course, washing their hands, most importantly, and feel good. And there needs to be a space for that as well. So, yes, that's definitely very important. And garbage. Let's talk about that for just a minute. Just because, you know, every house residence typically has about 3 trash cans. But for a wedding, you're definitely going to need a little bit more because there's going to be a lot more stuff that's going to be thrown away. So that is something to come up with a plan. And we can get into a whole conversation about that, but that's in mind.
Yeah, for sure. And then also, just to throw it in there, something else I'm thinking is like parking, right? If you live in a very narrow street and you know, it's only one way, so maybe consider, I don't know, valet.
Exactly. You nailed it right on the dot. Parking is another big topic to consider. Now, going back to how the vendor in with their trucks loading in and things like that, not only do they need space for parking and loading in, but your guests also need somewhere to park. Now, if it is only 5 to 10 people, that might be a little bit more manageable. But when we are talking about a much larger group, you know, hitting that 15, 20, then parking is going to be a little bit more of something to think about. For example, if you want to look at your map on Google Maps and see where the closest school, maybe there's an empty parking lot, or, you know, Uber. Maybe just Uber or Lyft.
Yeah, everybody.
Yeah. Just get dropped off. I mean, everyone's going to have a few cocktails anyways. Might as well save. And it would be saving space within your neighborhood street a lot more.
Yeah, that's great. So let's say if a couple had planned a wedding of 300 people, then they have the abuelita and they really want to get married next week, right? So maybe not next week. Let's say 2 weeks, because a little bit of time, right? 2 or 3 weeks, right?
Yeah, but hypothetically,
yeah. And then they're saying like, okay, we're gonna do this on abuelita's backyard, and then we need to narrow our guest list from 300 to 20. Do you have any recommendations to do that?
Yes. And I know how hard this is because I come from a very large family as well. So both of us being Latinas, we have big families. I mean, my cousins alone, first cousins, there are 66 of us, first cousins.
Wow.
So, yeah, I mean, it's crazy. So I completely feel any bride and groom out there that is in this situation where you're like, oh my God, we're going from this to now this.
Yeah.
So a few suggestions would be, I'm all about handwritten notes and thoughtful, meaningful letters. So maybe in your own words or in your own way of expressing this, to each of those that you did invite, possibly send them a letter, send them a note, sending them that how much you wish that you would want them to be there, but due to the circumstances here with COVID-19, you know, we have to, you know, condense tremendously. And it's not easy. But because we're all in this together, I know that your friends or your family are totally going to understand and totally support you.
Yeah. And then you can have, you know, your little, you know, smaller intimate wedding, and then you can have a big party later on.
Exactly. Which is exactly what I'm recommending to my clients is kind of doing like a 2-part wedding.
Yeah.
Doing something, you know, small and intimate with your immediate family. You know, of course, we want those very, very important people in your life right there next to you. And then having a big celebration next year or later on where then you can invite more people. So that way it kind of still invites everybody, but everyone is able to celebrate your love, celebrate your marriage. Another thing to suggest is to put it on a video cam. So set up something where it could be live streamed. So, you know, somebody can assist you in this. This could be the photographer or DJ, whoever knows who's more tech savvy.
Yeah.
In this department.
I think videographers are starting to offer that service too.
Absolutely. Yeah. Videographers, this would be a great way to go ahead and connect this with them. So that way you can send out a link to your family and friends and they can watch everything and still celebrate and still see it.
That's a great idea. I love that. And, you know, we're seeing a lot of Zoom weddings right now. That's, you know, why not?
Exactly.
So I think that's also something we're going to see happening more.
Yes.
cyber weddings. I don't know how to call them.
Yeah. Cyber weddings. And
Cyber
it's been
weddings.
fun. I've been seeing people doing like drive-by like parades. So that's another way if you have a local friends and family who still want to like cheer you on and, you know, just say hello and see you in your beautiful gown and suit. Yeah, that's another way too. Just kind of drive by and say hello and congratulate, and yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, so I mean, intimate weddings and backyard weddings, again, as I said before, have been happening for a long time, and they're gonna keep
Right.
happening. And since this is something you're specialized in, I tell us a little bit more about your package for intimate weddings, backyard weddings. How does it look like? I know how it looks like, but you know, for people that are watching.
Absolutely. Yeah, of course, this is a new way of taking it. It's a mini bite-sized version of what was going to be the big cake,
Mm-hmm.
basically. So what that looks like is you would get myself a wedding planner, or Karla, or any wedding planner that you feel comfortable with, and start figuring out exact budget and guest list. And then once you've decided that and you've kind of got a design in mind and knowing what you want it to feel like and what do you want it to sound like, what do you want it to look like, then we go ahead and get into planning mode. So that comes with an officiant, a florist, a photographer, a videographer if you choose, and some sort of music. So rather that being a live musician or a DJ or someone to go ahead and do that. Depending on how you want to set up, that's also going to include caterer and rentals. So it's really up to you on how elaborate you want to go. We can go ahead and customize that for you, and providing you with excellent vendors within the industry to provide that service with you. So that's what the package looks like. And of course, you know, if you decide, you know, you want to just keep it to small hors d'oeuvres and maybe a champagne toast and not a full meal, plated meal, that's totally cool. We can customize it to whatever you like.
You can make it look beautiful with a lot of candles and make it romantic. You can make it your own. And that's, you know, with having, if you're having trouble with coming up with a design, you know, hiring an expert like Claudia or myself, we help you with that. We help you make your wedding beautiful. So don't feel bad that you would have to do a backyard wedding and just have plastic chairs and someone barbecuing at the back. No, it can be a full-on beautiful wedding.
Exactly. I love that you said that, Karla, because we're not looking to do just a normal 4th of July barbecue in the backyard. This is not that.
No.
This is elevated. This is enhanced. This is creating an atmosphere for you to remember and for you to experience with your future fiance and your family. So I feel that this is just going to take it to the next level and creating something beautiful. And that's what's beautiful about a backyard wedding too, is that really it's a blank canvas. So, you know, we can create whatever you want to create.
Yeah, that's true. That's awesome, Claudia. So anything that you would like to add regarding to backyard weddings?
Yes. One is to stay calm and relaxed. This is supposed to be an experience very intimate with your family. So don't get overwhelmed with having to make all these hard decisions. We are here to guide you. We are here to provide information for you so that you feel secure and comfortable and not having to worry about all the external things. We want to focus and want you to focus on getting married and getting your life started together with your new hubby or wifey. So yeah, I just would want everyone to enjoy this mini process, petite weddings, micro weddings, whatever you may want to call it. But definitely a backyard wedding is going to be a great option, especially moving forward.
Yeah, for sure. Claudia, where can people find you?
Absolutely. You can find me at Time with Terrazas on Instagram, and to check me out on Yelp. You can check out my Yelp reviews there. And my website is www.timewithterrazas.com.
Perfect. And I'll add that on the notes below so you can have all the links.
Perfect.
Okay. Two more fun questions, Claudia, so people can learn a little bit more about you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
What's your favorite food?
Favorite food. Now that is hard because I'm a huge foodie, so I like all types of food. So Mexican food, Indian food, Asian food, everything you can think of. But when I narrow it down, it's as simple as an avocado. I love avocado. I was so obsessed with it.
It's so good. Why they're so good?
And they're so good for you. I mean, I love everything about it. I love the color. I love the texture. I just love all the nutritional values. It's just, I mean, you can't go wrong with avocados. So.
You can't go wrong with avocados, really. Okay, and then what's your favorite cocktail?
So very great question. And hopefully after COVID-19, you and I can go out and grab some cocktails. Well, my favorite is a Cadillac margarita.
Mine too. Oh my God. Yes.
Then it's on. Definitely we need to get Cadillac margarita.
Okay, Claudia, thank you very, very much.
Thank you, Karla. It has been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
I love this. I love that we could connect and get this. This was a little thing I had in my head going for weeks. And I was like, why not? I know I want to serve my community. I know a lot of planners that want to serve their community. And you know, we're stuck home right now, but we can get information out there to help couples, right?
Absolutely. Agree. And thank you so much for thinking of me and allowing me to share and all of this information, just talking to you. So this has been great. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you, Claudia. See you soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Gracias for tuning in. If this information was valuable for you, make sure you like and comment below. And of course, subscribe. See you next week. Bye.